Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of the MBLEx Test Prep live stream. I'm David, your host on this channel. Of course, I have to let you know, just right off the bat, I do have the MBLEx Test Prep Complete Study Guide for the MBLEx 2019 edition ready to go on Amazon. All you got to do is look for it, look for that book, look for my name right up top. That's how you know it is mine. Definitely give it a whirl. It comes with all this great stuff, all of these practice tests and stuff. I do have online material that goes with it, unlimited online practice tests, unlimited. There is a limit to the amount of flashcards that I made, but unlimited use of the flashcards that I made online that you can use on your phone. You can access those unlimited practice tests on your phone as well. So give those a look. You get all of that with the purchase of this study guide, the MBLEx Test Prep Complete Study Guide for the MBLEx 2019 edition. I also have video lectures where it's like I am teaching you all of this stuff. In a class-like setting, you just watch the video, about 10 hours worth of videos for you to watch that correspond with all of the stuff that is involved with the MBLEx. So how the live stream works, I got about a few minutes, 5-10 minutes. Thought I'd jump on, see if anybody had any questions, any material they wanted me to go over really quick in preparation for the MBLEx. So just hit the chat button. I'm staring at the chat right now. I see Daniel Jackson here. Hello, Daniel. So if you got any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, just hit the chat button and let's get talking. So update on previous news, I suppose. I did just record a podcast, not my own podcast, somebody else's podcast, about massage therapy. I recorded that a couple days ago in Santa Monica. I flew all the way down to Santa Monica to record a podcast, and you're coming with me in my kitchen. Dinner's being prepared, and the baby is acting up. Of course, he knows I'm online. So that's of course that's going to happen. So I did record that podcast. Should go live in October, I think he said October. So once that's up, I will let you all know. It was a fun conversation we had. It's not like the podcast that I do where it's just me talking, trying to teach you information. It's more, we delve into massage therapy as a career and where my career kind of went and all the things that entail that. So that's fun. Okay. Josh says, how often do they update the MBLEx test? They updated it in 2018. They took out there used to be a section on history where it would talk about like where massage originated, what modality, or kind of what modality started in which countries, and just people of importance like Per Hinnerkling and Taylor Brothers and John Harvey Kellogg, all those people. So they took all of that out. So you don't need to know any of that information. So they updated it in 2018. I don't remember them updating it before then. So it usually goes a while between updates. So the information you're getting now in my study guide, again, this study guide, MBLEx Test Prep Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019 edition is up to date. Should be good to go with that. Delphin, I want to show this. Hold on one sec. I've been debating on getting your book because the ABMP website didn't help me. That's unfortunate. Yes, please get my book. This one right here, MBLEx Test Prep Complete Study Guide for the MBLEx. Not only does it go over all of this information, like here's the reproductive system and here's the respiratory system. I also have fun assignments. Oh, look at this. Look at all of these awesome pictures of muscle actions. I also have these assignments that I think are really helpful. I gotta find them. Hold on. They're towards the front, actually. They are critical thinking assignments. Now, critical thinking is all about the test will give you scenarios and you are supposed to figure out how to answer these questions based on the information provided in scenarios. So I've got all of these scenarios in here. I think in this one I've got 8 or 9 or 10, something like that. Scenarios, and it's basically like, what's going on with this situation? How are you going to answer this question? So I've got that, which you probably aren't getting on the ABMP website or AMTA website or any of those other websites. So that assignment alone, worth the price of admission, plus the video lectures, plus the unlimited practice test, plus the online flashcards. You cannot go wrong. Give me a shot. If I can't get you past, maybe it's just not meant to happen. You'll get past it with my products, promise. I won't be finished with my 1-year class training until this time next year, so 2020. I will have a 2020 edition coming up. I don't know when it's going to be released, but there will be one coming up, so be on the lookout for that. I will, of course, post a video on YouTube when that is available. Okay. Danielle, his books are great and help. Hey, thanks, Danielle. I appreciate that. The test had a lot of scenario-based questions and what you would do. Yes, and that's why I included all of those scenario questions in there. So that gives you that kind of, you're prepared for those kind of questions, basically. Are there any new scenarios from the book, or are they the same? The next book, the 2020 book, will have more scenarios, about 20 scenarios, I think I've got in that one. Like I said, 8 or 10 in this one, and I employed the help of somebody else to write the scenarios for me because my imagination is just, there are only so many scenarios I can come up with on my own in my own head. So I had somebody else write some scenarios for me, and they are definitely A+ scenarios. So you're getting a lot of great information out of those. So Josh, yes, you're welcome. I suppose. Delfrint, that's awesome. If you head over to, in fact, I'll even put the link to the book in here. Try to send. No, it's too long. I'll have to figure something out. But I'll post the link really quick to the book on Amazon. Just let me make the a tiny URL. Apparently, I'm only allowed to type 300 characters, and this URL is over 300. It doesn't look like it's over 300, but apparently it is. My baby is being very loud. Okay, here you go. Okay, maybe not. Error. Try again. Whatever. I'll post it in the description. Just look at the description, or go on Amazon, search for my name, David Merlino. That's Merlin with an O at the end. It'll come up. You'll see it. Yeah. So, I mean, any other questions about the Mblaq while I'm here? If your client has kyphosis, lordosis, or lordosis, what type of massage modality would you use? I mean, it all depends on the severity of it, and a lot of it depends on the pain tolerance that the client might have, specifically with kyphosis. You might need to adjust body positioning and have them side lying instead of face down, or you're definitely not going to have them supine if it's really bad. I apologize, my kids are so loud. Just imagine this all day, every day, because that's what I got to deal with. So modality, I wouldn't say there's one specific modality that you're going to want to use with something like kyphosis. It's just specific muscles that you want to use. Now, on those muscles, you might want to use a lot of friction. Muscles like pec minor and serratus anterior that are really pulling the scapula forward. You're going to want to loosen those up. Do a lot of cross fiber friction, maybe some circular friction. If there are adhesions in those muscles, they're definitely going to tighten up and start pulling the scapula forward. So you can break up some of those adhesions and hopefully start to roll everything back, if that makes sense. So specific modality, just kind of whatever, I suppose. Specific techniques, though, definitely a lot of friction. You can do some petrissage, grabbing the muscles, squeezing the muscles, trying to loosen some of those adhesions in those muscles. hopefully that answered your question. As far as lordosis, a lot of lordosis is actually a problem with muscle strength. And muscles are either too tight or not strong enough, like rectus abdominis. If rectus abdominis is too weak, it's going to be stretched out, and other muscles like the rectus femoris and iliacus and psoas major are going to start shifting the pelvis forward because the rectus abdominis isn't pulling it back where it needs to be. And that can cause tightness in the hamstrings. You might even have a little bit of tightness in the sartorius. That might also contribute in pulling forward. So a lot of it is correcting kind of that aspect of it. It's getting those muscles that are tight loosened, so a lot of stretching and stuff like that, and recommending that your client do something like strengthen their abdomen, which I really need to do. The one thing I don't do at the gym is abs, unfortunately. I do that, of course, but abs not my favorite thing in the world. So recommending that your client do something like strengthen their rectus abdominis can really go a long way towards helping somebody get over lordosis. And body positioning, of course, anytime anybody has lordosis. I mean, anytime your client's on the table, you should have a bolster, but definitely if they have lordosis, you're going to want to put a bolster under their ankles when they are face down and under their knees when they are face up. And that takes pressure. That forces the hip. When they're face up, you put a bolster under the knees to force the hip into slight flexion, which takes a lot of pressure off of those muscles that are really tight, kind of shortens those muscles, and that can take pressure off the low back as a result. So hopefully that answered your question. What muscle do you use when lifting weights? It depends on what action you're actually performing. If I'm doing bicep curls, I mean, obviously I'm using the biceps, but every muscle that crosses the anterior elbow, that's going to flex the elbow as well. So you're also working on those muscles in conjunction, like brachialis, brachioradialis also. So again, it all depends on which muscle you are actually using. That's the muscle that's, I mean, it depends on which action you are using, performing, I suppose. That's going to determine which muscles you're using when you're lifting weights. Hopefully that helped as well. Okay. Dude, you rock. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that. I was close to going back to my school to get extra training. I excelled in school. I graduated in April after 6 months of school. That's pretty fast. 6 months of school, graduating. Jeez. Well, hopefully you find a lot of use in my study guide. I wouldn't make it if I didn't think it helped. So definitely give it a shot. Let me know how you like it after you get it, after you put it to use for a couple of weeks. Definitely leave me a review of that book on Amazon. Aveda has a 6-month program. Okay, man, that seems really fast. Jeez, I used to work at a school where the shortest program we had was 8 or 9 months. Like the longer of the two, the night program was like 10 months. It's 6 months. How many hours is that? That can't be that many hours. Now, that's got to be like exactly like 500 hours or something like that. Because the school I worked at was like 750 hours. Something around that. Okay, well, I have to 600 hours, 30 hours a week. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I got to sign off. Thank you for joining me on this amazing journey through MBLEx test prep. I will do more live streams soon, I promise. And when that podcast is posted, I will definitely let you all know with a link. Speaking of links, I will put a link to my study guide right below in the description. And yeah, I'll see you around. Thanks.